Alright, I should be live, hopefully. Am I live, everyone? Can you hear me? Or am I completely silent? I'll wait a minute until I see people responding in the chat. See how many people are here. Oh, up to 8. Like 10 seconds ago, there's only 3 people here, and for a minute I was thinking, man, there's going to be less people here than the stream I did the other day. I was playing that Dreamcast game. Alright, cool. You guys can hear me. Alright, I'll wait a few minutes for some people to join. Hello, everyone. Happy Friday. It is Friday, right? We're going to do something a little new today. Something that people have suggested I do over the years. And I kind of always hesitated to do it because, as I've said before, the few times I've streamed video games, I'm terrible at multitasking. So I always had the feeling that if I live streamed me working on Event Horizon, I would either get too distracted by the chat and get no work done, or I would just focus on the work and completely ignore the chat and everyone would be bored. So this is very much an experiment. This could end up being a total disaster and I'll barely get anything done and everyone will be bored. Or this could work out. And if it does work out, maybe I'll do it, well, regularly. I don't know. Maybe I can make it a patron thing. Let's just see how this stream goes before I decide anything. Because yeah, this is an experiment. But all right, got 12 people in. Wait a few more minutes for a few more people to come in. I guess if you guys want to ask some questions before I begin, I'll answer a question or two. See, Scott Harvey says you'd be surprised how often constructive critique and ideas come from just chatting with folks during work. Yeah, the few times I've worked with teams of people on different projects, yeah, the whole back and forth dynamic is awesome. In fact, a little side note, I don't want to say too much because I don't know what's set in stone or whatever, but kind of on the side in the background, I am working with another developer on something else right now, one of my other projects, and so far things seem to be going really well with that, but I don't want to say too much. But yeah, that's kind of a tangent. I'll hold off on that until I have more to say about it. But it's related to the whole bouncing ideas off people thing. Yeah, it's really awesome when you're working with a few people that you really sync with. And anyway, sorry, I'm already getting distracted by everything. Let me try and focus for a second. After seeing the tricky stuff from the trailer, I didn't expect to see the Cloudrunner Fortress. You're really going all out on the references, which is, yeah, I'm trying to. Every single area from both Dinosaur Planet and Star Fox Adventures are going to be in the game. There's only a few left. I haven't included the Twilight Marshes, which, to my knowledge, was never actually modeled in Dinosaur Planet. It might just be the canyon area around the walled city in Dinosaur Planet, but it's not identified in the files as the Twilight Marshes, so I don't know. It doesn't really look marshy, but yeah, after the Cloudrunner Fortress, it's just the Volcano, Forest Point Temple, Dragon Rock, and then that area from Star Fox Assault is going to briefly show up in the Soria campaign, and it'll show up again later. Obviously during Assault. So yeah, I think I've got every area from Soria. I'm trying to think if I forgot one. I might have forgot one, but I'm pretty sure I got them all. Let's see what else. Sky Fox, very funny. Let's see what else. Were you inspired by StarCraft 2 when you made the menus between missions? I do love StarCraft 2, but no, the menus between missions, that's just how they are in the original Free Space 2 games. But I think you mean like when you're on the Great Fox and you can talk to the yes, that that actually was inspired by StarCraft 2, yeah. But that sort of thing is in the original Free Space 2, where you're in like the hangar bay and you can click on different stuff. I just don't think there's any characters you can actually talk to in the original Free Space, whereas in StarCraft 2 you can actually talk to characters in between the levels. So yeah, I definitely liked that feature in StarCraft 2. Kind of surprised that it's not really in many other RTS games since then, because it's a really cool feature and it's pretty easy to do too. Let's see. Good teams are hard to come by. Well, I wasn't part of the team itself. You probably remember me from a few Star Fox forums back in the day. I recall hearing about difficulties of Were you on the Hard Light forums back in the day, Miss Scott Harvey? I don't recognize the name Scott Harvey. Maybe he had a different name in those forums. But yeah, if you were on the Hard Light forums back in the old days of Project Curse, then yeah, you've been around for a long time. But yeah, it's hard to find a good team to work with. I've been part of several teams that collapsed, and I've worked with people that are really good. It's just a matter of finding the right people, because so yeah, it can be hard to find really good people. But yeah. Anyway, let's see what else. Never thought I'd see an Event Horizon development stream. Yes, Stash Hand. I'm finally doing one. And now we're getting quite a few people in here, so I guess I'll begin. Although it says my connection's terrible, so it's very possible I'll disconnect today. So I apologize in advance if the stream disconnects or gets choppy. Stash Hand says, this fan game has reached legitimate professional quality. I'm flattered, but I wouldn't say my game is totally professional quality, although video games have become so broken and bad lately that maybe my game is... The bar has been lowered so much lately that maybe my game actually is professional quality. But 10 plus years ago, Event Horizon would not be considered professional. It's... I mean, maybe I'm just really, really picky, but I when I look at it, I can tell it's a game made in a guy's basement. But I appreciate that sentiment. I'm really glad everyone likes it and everyone thinks it's awesome, and it's been a lot of fun to work on. It's much more fun to work on than my Zelda games, but see, honestly forgot about the Hard Light forums. Yeah, the Hard Light forums are still there, but everyone's kind of switched over to the Hard Light Discord, so I don't really go to the actual forums anymore. But I guess now that we've got almost 30 people, and that's probably a good place to start. So, oh, that was weird. The Fred editor just did a weird thing. But anyway, so yeah, I've been working on the Cloudrunner Fortress level for, I think, 3 or 4 weeks now, since the start of February. Let me make sure OBS is actually capturing everything. Looks like it is. I would say the level's probably about like 75% done. The kind of basic outline of the level is complete. I've got about half of the dialogue in, and I'm very tired trying to remember what I was doing last night before I went to sleep. So yeah, the last thing I was doing was at one point later in the level, these gyro helicopter VTOL craft that the Sharpclaw have show up, and I was gonna do this before I went to sleep last night, but I decided to save it for the stream. But I want to make it so that when you destroy the little propellers on these things, they kind of spin out of control and they fall down and crash. And I was trying to do that yesterday through a really over-convoluted method, and then I found out from someone on the Hard Light Discord that there's a much easier way to do it. So Anyway, let me check the chat and make sure you guys can actually see everything that's going on. That'll be embarrassing if I've been talking and you guys weren't able to see stuff. Let's see, were cherry blossoms in the original? Yes, there were pinkish trees in the original. I don't actually know if they're cherry blossoms though. I actually suspect that they're God, what are they called? There's another type of tree that has like pink leaves, but they're mixed with green leaves. If you look very closely at the pink trees in Dinosaur Planet and in Star Fox, it's easier to tell in Star Fox Adventures, but if you look really closely at the trees, there's green leaves mixed in with the pink leaves, and there's another tree that's like that, and I suspect that's actually what they are, but I just went with cherry blossoms, so they might be cherry blossoms though, because if you look at Cape Claw and the Cloudrunner Fortress in the original game, they seem to very loosely be inspired by Japanese architecture. I say loosely inspired because, well, it's not really exactly Japanese architecture, but who knows? They might be cherry blossoms. They're cherry blossoms in Event Horizon, at least for now. You know what? No, there's some weird alien tree from Soria that just happens to be pink and looks kind of like cherry blossoms. Let's see. Rookie says or asks in the chat. Realistically, is there any scenario you see yourself forming a dev team? I'm actually trying to right at this minute. I mentioned it a few minutes ago. I'm working with a programmer on something right now. It's so early on, though, that I don't really want to say anything until I'm certain. But I've worked with, well, you know, when I used to work in the industry, I obviously worked with dev teams, but I've worked with on and off with small teams on my projects and some other projects over the years. Like there's a mod for Star Wars Galactic Battlegrounds called Expanding Fronts. I worked with them for like 5 years. I did a bunch of sprites for that. So I worked with that team. I also worked with Stellar Parallax on the Ages of the Federation mod for Sins of a Solar Empire. I modeled tons of stuff for that over the years. So yeah, I've worked with other teams on other projects, and you know, I worked with Exodarian on Hyrule Conquest for a few years. He kind of has moved on to his... Well, he messaged me, and we talked about a month ago, and he's doing some Zelda-related thing right now. But so yeah, I've worked with small teams over the years, but yeah, I would like to form a dedicated team of people to just make games and like actual commercial games. But I'm kind of a small nobody, so I haven't really found all the right people. But I might very soon. I'm working with someone now. I'm kind of feeling good about that. But anyway. Oh, cool. Yeah, someone in the audience has played Expanding Fronts. Yeah, Expanding Fronts is awesome. I did pretty much any animated sprite in that mod I did. So I did all the Geonosian animated sprites. I did all the First Order sprites, like was it the ATM6 walker? The giant walkers. I animated a bunch of stuff for the Imperial Remnant. A lot of the wild animals in Expanded Front I did too, although someone else has taken over all the wild animals now. I haven't done anything for Expanding Fronts in like 3 or 4 years now, or probably more like 2 or 3 years, but yeah, Expanding Fronts is great. Ooh, Rio Tempest said, I also want to say I got my crystal plushie 2 months ago. It's my ride or die car passenger seat buddy. Awesome. I'm glad people like those plushies. Estelle and I are working on bringing out a second plushie in the summer, and it's going to be summer themed, so hopefully that plushie turns out just as awesome, if not better. Anyway, back to... See, I can tell, like, I'm already getting distracted by the chat, and I've not really got anything done yet, but I'm going to make these gyro fighters fall out of the sky. So I'm going to go to my test map and try and implement that. So here is my empty test map where I can really quickly test things that I'm trying to do when I don't want to play through an entire level. So I was told to get the gyro, to get something to fall when a certain subsystem is destroyed. I just need to turn on gravity in a level and then mess with the death roll time. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. Let me see. I don't know if there's a good way for me to have Notepad on the screen, and all the stuff going on in here looks really boring, so I'll probably just have it off to the side because you guys are probably more interested in what's going on there. But anyway, let me go to the gyro fighter. You know what, I'll go ahead and put it on the screen so you guys can kind of see what's going on. So here's where all the crazy magic happens, is in this table file here. And I need to add a death roll to this. Let me find out. Let me just copy a death roll. Whoops. Didn't mean to switch over to that. Let me find another death roll from one of the other ships and just copy it over and mess with it. Not death roll sound. Do I not? I'm pretty sure I have a death roll somewhere else. I know that the Volcano has a death roll, so let me go look for his. Where's death roll? There we go, base death roll time. Let's go back to the gyro fighter. Whoops. And it comes after, it's in the middle of shockwave. Wow, I'm having a brain fart. Okay, yeah, it comes right before shockwave speed. So all of these little statistics here have to be in a specific order, which kind of really annoys me, but it's a game from 1998, or the engine, rather, is from 1998, so I have to deal with what they did. So I was recommended to give a craft a very high death roll time. So these are in milliseconds, so I'll give it a 25-second death roll time. So it gives it enough time to fall down and crash into the ground and explode. And then I need to enable gravity in this level, which I might actually already have. So here's the event editor. This is where, again, where a bunch of magic stuff happens to make things work. Oh, I noticed a comment. Wait, what engine is this? This is the engine that was used to make Free Space 2 way back in 1998. The engine was made open source just a few years after that, so they've basically been modifying this engine pretty much non-stop for the last 20-25 years. So it's a very old engine, but it's got some more modern things added into it. But like I said, you could tell this project really isn't that professional because I'm using a 25-year-old engine instead of Unreal. Although my next project is probably going to be using Unreal, but I don't know why I'm creating a spell stone here, so let me get rid of that. Anyway, what was I doing? Oh yeah, gravity. Let me just copy the gravity trigger from another level. Where is it? Gravity, let me Control F for that. Set gravity acceleration. So let's go to add an operator, and I think it's in scripted. I need set gravity acceleration, not set gravity. Crap, I forgot where it was. I'm gonna manually add it in Notepad, I think, because I can't remember where that operator is. Bear with me, everyone. Like I said, this stream might be a disaster. Let me go to the initialize event. Where is it? This is how I spend most of my days, just kind of being dumbfounded, trying to find where I need to put something or add something. So I often tell people I'm a very boring person. This is kind of just how I spend most of my day, just doing this. But anyway, let me copy the gravity over from this level into the initialize event over here. And let me reopen my little test level. And there we go. So I set the gravity acceleration to 9.81. And I gave the Sharp Claw Gyro Fighter a death roll time of 25 seconds. Now it's time to just test and see if they actually fall out of the sky. Oh, actually, first I need to make it so when the subsystems are destroyed that they're counted as... Basically, I need to make it so when you destroy one of the rotating propellers on the fighter, it actually counts as the craft being destroyed, so it starts as death roll. So I already have this event set up. All I need to do is replace this with the self-destruct order, or operator. So let's go to ships, and where's self-destruct? Actually, it's in subsystems. Self-destruct the argument, which is the gyro fighter, and hopefully that works. Alright, so let me make sure you guys can see everything. Let me check the chat. It'd be embarrassing if I just said all that and you guys couldn't see anything. Or OBS stopped recording. Crystal Kingdom General says, "Greetings, Chasen. Can you believe that you've been working on this game for a decade?" I can believe I've been working on this for a decade because I worked on my Zelda project for almost 20 years. So I've only been working on this about half as long as that. Yeah, Psycholian said Free Space Open is the name of that's kind of what they refer to the engine now, because it's open source and they've added a bunch of stuff to it, so they call it Free Space Open. It's despite how old the engine is, it's a really good engine. And obviously you can't publish a game with it because even though it's open source, funnily enough, I'm probably going to get flagged for mentioning this, though, but the Saudi royal family owns this engine now, which is really funny to me. Somehow the Saudi royal family came into possession of Free Space 2 and its engine. So you can't make a commercial game with this engine, but if you want to, I recommend using this engine to, like, if you're, like, getting into making something and you want to, like, kind of put together a little demo to kind of figure out how to... You know, kind of, like, if you're learning how to make a little game, I highly recommend using this engine. It's pretty good, especially if you're trying to do something like Star Fox or Free Space. See, Vibezerd asks, how far are you going to go with Event Horizon? To Assault or past it? Well, I'm gonna go past Assault. It's gonna cover every game, and then there's going to be a section of the game that's kind of like, it's after all the games, and it kind of wraps everything up. And it's kind of just, it's just a way to kind of wrap all of Star Fox together into a nice bow and kind of end it on a high note, because at the moment, Star Fox ended on a very low note with Command, and then it was kind of rebooted, and now it's kind of just a zombie. Actually, Star Fox isn't even a zombie. It's pretty much dead. Like, hasn't it been 10 years since the last Star Fox game came out? Dragon King asks, question about shot down that way. If they crash into another ally, is there in their death roll, would it also take them out? Well, no, they can crash into other ships and stuff. The question is, how much damage would the other ship take from the crash? It depends. On a few factors determine how much damage a ship will take from an impact. It's related to the velocity of a ship and the mass of a ship, and then comparing it to the velocity and mass of the other ship. I suspect if one of the crashing ships hit another ship, it wouldn't instantly kill it unless its health was already low. It'd probably just kind of push it out of the way, and it would take some damage. I'd have to give it a pretty high mass to instantly kill another ship that's the same size as it. So, now, if it was a giant, like, capital ship falling down, it would probably instantly destroy anything under it. Which I'm actually going to do with the boss fight in the Volcano... Because in the Volcano Force Point Temple, it's when you finally fight Shears. And at the end of the level, his ship that he's in starts crashing. So you'll probably see ships under his getting destroyed as it's falling down. But that is for the next level, not this one. But anyway, let's test this out and see if the ships fall out of the sky now. So let me fire up Event Horizon and make sure that OBS is actually recording it. So let me look on the... It doesn't look like it's popping up. I might need to mess with OBS. Damn it. Alright, let me check OBS. Now, OBS says it's picking it up. Why is it not showing up? Actually, maybe it's just really delayed. Yeah, never mind. I forget. I'm almost like a minute ahead of everyone in the stream. Now I see it. Alright, so let's go to my little test level. And... there it is. Ouch. Hit the desk down there. And now it's loading, and it's probably going to take a while to load because I just did a bunch of stuff. So I'll give it a minute, and I'll look at the comments while it's loading. So does having your shield deflector down change this? I actually don't think at the moment shields affect the damage taken from impacts. I'll have to double check though. I'm not 100% sure. Let's see, roughly a decade. Star Fox is on its last legs, only kept alive by the fans, just like F-Zero. Yeah, it's really embarrassing just what's happened with Star Fox. Like in the 90s, that was like when Star Fox 64 came out on the Nintendo 64. That was like what, their third biggest game at the time. It's so sad how that series has been left to die. But honestly, obviously I can't say for certain, but Star Fox dying might be better than if Nintendo had just kept making a crappy Star Fox game every 2 or 3 or 4 years. Because the last few ones have been pretty rough. And can you imagine if like every 3 or 4 years they oh, it finished loading, but the volume's kind of loud. That instantly made me lose the thought in my head. Anyway, let me make sure it's not too loud. The sound settings might be too loud. Yeah, it's a little bit loud, but whatever. Anyway, so let's test this out and try and destroy the little propellers on these things. Let me come to a complete stop and directly target it. Am I targeting the... Yeah, I'm targeting the gyro. Oh, you are not supposed to run off like that. You're supposed to stay still. Alright, well... I guess, I might have to go find out why he's running away and not staying still. He's supposed to play dead and stay still, but he's running away now. And I am not even... Oh, there we go. Okay, he exploded almost instantly, so it's not working. I've messed something up. Let me go back into here and look at his death roll. Yeah, he's got a death roll, so let me go look at all the different death roll things I can mess with and see if maybe I just forgot something. So, to the wiki. Let's see, base death roll time, death roll explosion radius, death roll rotation cap, ship splitting. No, that's interesting. Well, I'm going to send a message to someone really quick and tell them the death roll time doesn't seem to be working. Even though I set death roll to... You know, I actually think I know why it exploded instantly. I think it's because... I think the self-destruct here, the self-destruct operator in this event is overriding the ship's death roll when I destroy one of the two propellers. So I'm gonna get rid of the self-destruct and just outright destroy the ship and see if it falls down. So let's start up Event Horizon again. And the loading screen should load much faster this time because I haven't done any weird changes. I just deleted an operator, but you never know. function simulator and empty. Alright, let's see what else you people have said. So he's like, I'm gonna make you work for... Oh, yeah, I forgot to set it so that he stays still also. So, alright, I guess I'm gonna have to chase him and shoot him down, but this time I'm not gonna purposely try and destroy the little propellers. I'm gonna just gun him down and see if he falls down without that self-destruct. Use the fireballs. Like the little, you can see the little, the ice blast from Crystal Stafford just chasing. I don't know why, I always get amused when I see those little ice blasts homing in. Alright, come on. Blow up. He's so fast, half my shots are missing. Alright, let's see if that... Okay, there we go. Now it looks like he's now he's spinning out of control, but he's not falling vertically. He's just falling in the direction he's going in. So he's still not falling vertically, so I did something wrong with gravity, probably. Let me go message Astroth again. Oh, Astroth's apparently in the chat. Alright. Where are you, Astroth? Whoops. Astroth, who are... Oh, okay, I can... Yeah, oh, you're Psycholian in the chat. Alright. Psycholian in the chat. He's actually the guy who's been helping me, get the ships falling from gravity. So let's see what he says. Make sure the ships have dying gravity constant set for them. Let me go look that up on the wiki really quick. Dying gravity constant. Okay, that is right before debris. So let me add that right before the debris. Dying gravity constant. What is the default value for that? Save as gravity constant. Alright, Mr. Astaroth, would you recommend a value of 1 or is it 9.8? Like, I'm not sure how it... What exactly is the dying gravity constant, like, as far as a number goes? Because it just says the default is the same as gravity constant. And I've set the mission's gravity to 9.8. So I'm not sure what's going on there, but I'll wait to see what you say. Oh, Kyle's in the chat too. Hey, Kyle. Fox McCloud is in the chat. All right. Astaroth suggests 1, so let me set the constant to 1. And let me make it so these ships don't run away when I attack them. So let me go to their wing. Editors, wings, initial orders, play dead. Okay, they were not set to play dead. Alright, let's fire this up now. See if this works. That's funny. I didn't realize, Astaroth, I didn't realize you were in the chat. I'm like messaging you on the Hardlight Discord, and I didn't even realize you were in the chat. I can already tell, though, I'm working slower than I would with the... I'm working slower than I would if I wasn't live streaming, so I might make this live stream more of a once-in-a-while thing, because I probably would have figured this out by now. But hey, as long as you guys enjoy the show, maybe I'll keep doing this every once in a while. But alright, let's see if giving it a gravity constant of 1... cause it to fall. There we go, now he's not running away. Man, these guys are more durable than they should be. I destroyed both of his propellers. Okay. There we go, now he's falling down. Whee! Let's see if he actually crashes into the ground before it finishes the death roll. I feel like it should fall faster, so maybe I'll increase the gravity constant, because his mass is probably still relatively small. Yeah, he'd blow it up before he hits the ground. So I'm going to try giving a higher gravity constant Let's try 5. Let me check and see what Astaroth says, because he's probably going to be like, no, don't make it 5, or it's going to like zoom off the screen, or it's going to do something weird. Come to think of it, this is probably the Star Fox equivalent of Project 06, a fan remake remaster of Sonic 06. I'm not familiar with that project, but I assume that's a positive comparison, so thank you. Let's see. Kyle, did I post in the voice actor Discord that I was streaming? Let me go check. Maybe some of the other voice actors would like to... Oh, yeah, let me let all the other voice actors know I'm streaming. Maybe some of them would like to hop in too if they're around. Alright. Copy and paste. So I let all the other voice actors know that I'm streaming. So maybe we'll have more than Fox McCloud join the stream. I don't think Crystal's going to join the stream, though, because she went on a little vacation and she just got back. And actually, I think she just went to sleep. So it'll be whoever is online, I guess. I don't know. Maybe we'll get Peppy in here. I know it's really late in Slippy's time zone, so he might not show up. But we got Kyle. We got Kyle in the chat, so we got Fox McCloud himself at least. Maybe Falco will join. Anyway, you know what would make you laugh better for the ice shards chasing the ship? Benny Hill theme playing in the background when there's like 8 of them. Maybe for a little meme video, yeah. Anyway, let's make... Actually, let me go to the subsystems really quick on the gyro fighter and just temporarily make their wings not that easily destructible. I'll make one of them destructible. And then if this works, I'll try and figure out how to make it so self-destruct doesn't cancel out their death roll time, if that's even possible. Yeah, Astaroth, is it even possible to make it so that the self-destruct doesn't override the death roll time? Because when I use that self-destruct operator, it exploded almost instantly, and I think it's canceling out all the death roll time related stuff. Okay, yeah, it's loading much faster now. I was gonna say this level should load fast. It's mostly empty. All right. Let's see how fast he falls out of the sky now. Alright, there he goes. Whee! That's awesome. Oh, he's gonna crash into the ground. Is he gonna bounce off or actually explode? Oh, he bounced. I'm gonna need to... I already have an event in place, but I have an event in place so that when a ship... actually, it might not work because the ship is counted as dead, but an event for when a ship gets below a certain Y coordinates, it instantly explodes. So they don't have that bouncing thing going on when they hit the ground. But I just realized that might not work because the ship is dead, so it might... It'd be like asking a dead ship to die again, so... You know what, I just realized, yeah, Astaroth, I just realized that's the reason I was doing the other method, is so that when the ships die and fall down, they don't bounce off of the land when they hit the ground. It was so that... Okay, I'll just wait to see what Astaroth says, before I freak out. Let's see. Self-destruct shouldn't affect death roll. I suspect what is happening is the ship takes some damage after dying, which does shorten death roll time. Oh, okay. Well, let me add the self-destruct back in then. And I'll try and be careful and not overkill the ship. So, let me add... Ship stat. No, it's in subsystems. Self-destruct. And have the argument explode. Save, and then let me make the subsystems destructible again. All right, let's try it with the self-destruct and see if the death roll time still works. And while I do that, I'll see if Astaroth knows a way to make it so that dead ships don't bounce off the ground like that. Yeah, for those of you in the audience, Psycholian here, he's the guy who got so many things to work in this engine. He got the Landmaster to work. Basically, all the stuff on the ground works because of him. What else has he done? He got the ability. You know how I have Kite like strafing from side to side, or the walkers moving from side to side, and all the animations tied to that. He got that working. He's got so much stuff working, I can't even remember all of it. So he's kind of like the unsung hero of this project. Let's see. I'll have to do a bit of research. It might be possible to have armor types so that the environment does super duper high collision damage to certain ships. Awesome. Although, won't that affect the ships while they're alive too? Because then one of those ships, they might accidentally bump into a mountain and then instantly explode. Which, to be fair, is realistic. If a freaking helicopter like hit the side of a mountain, they probably would explode instantly, or they wouldn't bounce off. So that might be a good idea even when those ships are alive. It's just that I plan to use those ships in levels that might have a lot of clutter that they can crash into. So I don't know. I'll have to think about it, or I might just make it so that they bounce like that. I don't know. It's Star Fox. There's a bunch of weird, funny physics stuff in Star Fox. Maybe ships bounce when they hit the ground. But anyway, let me destroy his little propeller now and see if self-destruct. I don't want to overkill him, so I won't use the fireballs. All right, there. I destroyed one of his propellers. And he is not being destroyed instantly, so Mr. Astaroth, your theory was correct. I was probably just overkilling the ship the first time I did it. Alright, cool. So it looks like I got that working. I'm gonna test it out with them moving around really quick. So let me get rid of the play dead orders. And I also want to unprotect these ships and the player so that everyone attacks each other. Do I still have Notepad like over the screen? Yeah, it's blocking the screen. You guys probably can't even see what's going on. I'm a dummy. Let's unprotect those and unprotect the player ship. And let's try fighting them all. Astaroth, and whenever there's a problem, you'll always find a script to fix it somehow. I want to see the ship spin at 4,000 RPM when they crash. That's what I was trying to go for with the other method I was using, where they go down. I used an edit coordinate event on loop to do the vertical thing, and I was going to give them a ship maneuver where they spin around like that. But realistically, I mean, we'll find out when I test it now. In the game, because the ships are moving around, they're likely to just spin naturally when I destroy them. They're never really going to be sitting still like that. So we'll find out in a second when I shoot them down while they're flying around. But they should just kind of spin on their own. And then when I make it so that they're locked, so that they can't like go upside down, so that they're locked on their y-axis, they should spin around. They should spin around on their y-axis like a helicopter would when it spins out of control. But at the moment, they behave like just any other craft where they can fly around and do loops and stuff. I haven't bound them to their y-axis yet like a helicopter. Anyway. Interesting, they're still not attacking me, although they are moving around. Oh, they're attacking me. I just saw some of them shoot at me. I think they move way too fast for helicopters, so I'm going to probably slow their movement speed. He should not be moving this fast. There he goes. Whee! And there he goes, spinning out of control, falling down. I still... I think one of his allies just shot him by accident. Let's try destroying some of the other ones. There he goes. Whee! Let's see him if he bounces off the ground. Woo! That's awesome. Oh! The AI and its brilliance they both just flew right into the ground themselves. And for some reason, Falco's piloting one of the sharp clawed gyrocopters. So let's go kill Falco. There he goes. That's hilarious. I could just watch that all day. I love the bouncing. That's so goofy. Alright, Astaroth, if you know some magic to stop the bouncing, let me know. I'm not going to worry about it too much at the minute, though. I'm going to go back to the actual level, and, actually, first let me turn the sound down, because it's kind of hard to hear everything going on. Alright. Okay, so... let me actually copy that event, Gyrofall event. Let me copy this and bring it on over to the actual Cloudrunner Fortress level. And that's taking a minute to load. Let me check on the chat. Either way, lore-wise, we know the crafts are rigged up wrong, so it's... Yeah, the Sharp Claw craft are all, they're all kind of held together with freaking bubble gum, so... That would be kind of funny if, their craft would just occasionally self-destruct on their own because they're made so poorly. Let's see, some devs see failure when something like that happens. I take you... Yeah, well, a lot of things that ended up in this game were accidents like that, where something kind of goofy happened that wasn't supposed to happen, and then I'm like, you know what, that would be cool. I'm trying to think of an example off the top of my head. I can't really think of an example right off the top of my head, but all kinds of little accidents like that happen that I end up actually incorporating into the game. I don't know if I'm going to have the bouncing off the ground actually be a thing, because it would be one thing if it looked convincing, but the way they bounce on the ground when they're falling that fast looks just kind of weird, so I don't know if that'll make that a feature, but we'll see. Anyway, let me get rid of the event I was doing last night, which I might have already got rid of because I don't see it. So anyway, let's make a new event and paste that in from the other level so that when I destroy their little wings, they fall out of the sky. I'll call it Gyro Falls A. That looks right. Alright, cool. Alright, so I'm going to test this level up to the point where all those gyrocopters show up. So you guys will get an early look at this level. It's kind of... The level is kind of rough right now. I mean, you can just tell just by looking like in the distance here. The geometry is all rough. The events are all rough. The dialogue is all rough. So everything you're seeing in this level right now is very kind of a rough draft. I haven't, ironed it out completely. I'm just trying to get... what I do when I make levels, I try and make it so that you can complete the level, and then I go in and I touch things up to make it look presentable, and then I kind of leave the level alone for months until all the voice acting is done, and then when I get all the voice acting into the level, that's when I go through and I really kind of try and polish the level up. And that's kind of my process. But there's the boss down there. The boss works. The boss is pretty much completely done. I don't have his dialogue lines in the level, but his attack patterns and everything works. The boss is usually the first thing I do when I make a level, is I make the boss and I make it functional. So this boss is completely done. Although he doesn't launch the fighter craft out of him yet, so I'm going to have to do that. But He's done and ready to go. Yeah, that looks really, really bad out there. The mountains, the Snow Peak Mountains just floating in the void there. But anyway, let's play test this level and see if my gyrocopters are falling out of the sky. And if they don't, well, I can just show you guys the level leading up to them. Let's see what you guys are saying in the chat. The former head of Paths of Fate always pointed me towards the blooper. Oh my god, I remember Paths of Fate. That was the Max Payne Star Fox mod. Am I remembering that right? I remember that. That predates Project Curse. That's like 2007, 2006. I remember Paths of Fate. I remember when I first saw that, like, I was so excited. Didn't he? I think he just quit working on that though, but he ended up releasing all the assets or something like 10 years later. Let's see, Sweet the Great Fox showing up. Yeah, the Great Fox shows up in this level like it does in the Walled City level, because this level is there's a branching path where you go to either the Walled City or the Cloudrunner Fortress, and in both those levels is when Rob shows up. Anyway, it looks like it's done loading, so let's start this level out. And the nebula poofs do not seem to be working, so I did something wrong, but... And none of the music's playing, but that's because I disabled all the sound. I also don't hear the little radio in sound effects for the dialogue because I disabled the sound. I can still hear all of the weapon effects and stuff, though. You know what, let me, just because I want to hear the music a little bit, let me go turn the music volume up 1. I'll leave the little radio sound effects for the dialogue boxes disabled, though, because it'll probably be too distracting. Anyway, back to the level. Sorry about that. I consider the music really important, and a lot of things that happen in the levels are actually timed around the music, and when there's no music playing, it kind of throws off, kind of throws me off. But anyway, there we go, that's better. So yeah, again, this is all really, really rough draft. The fog down there is rough draft, but I'll go ahead and dive in the fog so you guys can see it. Volumetric nebulas. Yeah. Anyway, so the level kind of begins with Fox and company approaching the Cloudrunner Fortress, and Kite's evil uncle has set up an obvious trap. There's Slippy's R-Wing. Yeah, this is where I really have trouble multitasking. So my commentary is probably going to be terrible here. And then these Cloudrunners start attacking you. And as a nice little touch, you can't actually kill the Cloudrunners. When you damage them enough, they stop attacking you, and then they kind of just run away. I just didn't like the idea of Kite murdering other Cloudrunners. Fox probably would shoot him down, though, if they kept attacking. Oh, actually, let me go bust Slippy out of the prison first, because that's the real objective, is actually to get Slippy and Gratibug out of the prison over there. So let me bust them out. Frame rate seems to be not holding up. And there we go. I want to change that explosion effect to look more like wood. There's Slippy, and riding on Gratibug. Very slowly. Very slowly. I need to make it so he runs a little faster than that. Anyway, let's finish off these guards. So with the Walled City level, I very much wanted it to be like this really big, bombastic level where two giant armies are fighting, but I kind of was taking the opposite approach to the Cloudrunner Fortress, where half the level is you fighting Kite's uncle. Eventually the Sharpclaw army does show up, and there's like a giant a giant fight, but a lot of this level is much smaller in scope than the walled city. Come on! That Cloudrunner was really good at avoiding me. Or my aim was just really bad. There we go, I got them all. Alright, now, her uncle should get up in just a second. Hopefully my commentary isn't boring. Okay, the timing is off, at least with the dialogue. Here we go. Alright, and then yeah, the next part of the level is basically just fighting her uncle. I might really have trouble multitasking here, so I'm probably just gonna go silent until I kill him. Whoops. Jeez, let me try strafing. Okay, he doesn't seem to be doing any damage to me, but it looks like he's hitting me, so I'm not sure what's going on there. And I've only done 1 damage to him, so I think there's some wonkiness going on with the collision. Okay, he definitely hit me there, and I took no damage. Look at it, I'm just gonna stay still. He's burning me with his fire breath, and I'm taking no damage. There, got him down to 90. Come on. Yeah, my aim's really bad today. I'll try doing some back and forth instead of strafing around him. He's too maneuverable for strafing to really work. Strafing's really only good against like larger, slower stationary targets that you can orbit around, but he's really fast, so. Man, I'm having a really hard time hitting. I've been playtesting against him lately, and I've never had this much trouble hitting him. I'm definitely hit. I think there's something weird going on, because I can hear the collision sound effects from the blasters, and he's barely taking any damage, so something's going on. I need to figure out. Maybe I accidentally made it so that me and the uncle are invulnerable or something? No, he's not invulnerable because he is taking damage, just. I don't know, something weird's going on. But I might have to quit and restart the level. Oop, I almost crashed into the ground myself. Oh, there's the Sharp Claw Fleet. They're almost here. Come on, crazy uncle. There we go. Now I'm damaging him a lot. Oh, he got stuck in there. Silly AI. Now I got stuck in there. Whoop. Actually, he shouldn't come down this low. He's supposed to stay above. So yeah, there's some things going on with this fight that I need to polish and fix. Oh crap. Come on, crazy uncle. Is he stuck on? Yeah, he's stuck under the bridge. I need to really find a way to fix the pathfinding. Is he actually stuck in the rock? I think he's actually stuck inside the... No, he's not. That was weird. I thought he was stuck inside the rock for a second there. He's almost dead. Like I said, this needs a lot of polish. Let me try using the ice on him. There we go, I defeated him. And there's General Scales. Okay, now all the gyrocopters should show up. Here's Slippy. And grab a bug. Then oh, I forgot to show them, all these Cloudrunners were just kind of hanging out, like, on the city, and their heads, like, kind of follow the player, and I forgot to show it. But now they're all taking off and attacking the sharp claws. Let's go find those gyrocopters. Where are they? There they are. I think I forgot to give them attack orders, so they're just kind of oh no, they're attacking. And the frame rate is starting to tank. And I forgot to make it so that they don't go upside down like that. They definitely have too much health. I need to lower their health. They should not be that durable. Oh, there, I got his wing. He is not falling down, so I messed up the... I forgot to set the event to loop, that's why. But let's see if he falls down when I destroy him properly. If I can destroy him, he seems to be able to take tons of hits. Jeez, man, how durable are these things? There we go, let's see if he falls down now. Oh, I forgot to enable gravity in this level. So yeah, he's just gonna keep flying up. He's gonna keep flying up into orbit. That's hilarious. I forgot to set the gravity acceleration in this level. That's hilarious. Bye! It's like straight out of the Hercules show from the 90s. Anyway. Let me go fix that. Let's see, events. Let me set the this event to a loop. -1 and an interval time of... I'll do an interval time of 1 second. So that way, with the interval time at 1 second, it'll check the for the destruction of the propellers every 1 second instead of instantly. So it'll give the craft any time between 0 and a second to kind of keep moving around before it starts to fall. So yeah, I'll set the interval time to 1. And then let me lower the health of those gyrocopters. What do I have their... Yeah, I have their health at 900. They're almost as strong as a Harlock. So a Harlock has 1,000 hit points. So let me set their hit points to like 200 or 300. I'll do 250. So yeah, those are way too durable, which is probably why it took forever to destroy them. And then what else was I going to do? Oh yeah, I need to enable gravity. So let me copy gravity from the other level, because I don't remember where set gravity excel is in the menu. The menu's too big for me to just look through it all when I could just paste it in Notepad. I'll put it in the initialize event. I spelled initialize wrong. Initialize. Put it right at the end there. Set gravity excel 98.1 or 9.81. No, I don't want 98 Earth gravities. You know what? I'm not gonna do it now, but when I go back through the levels, because if you read the Star Fox 64 guide or whatever, it actually gives the gravity of each planet. At least for the planets in Star Fox 64. So I might go back and edit the gravity acceleration for all the planets to be slightly different. So the physics will be slightly different depending on the gravity of the planet you're on. For testing purposes, I just set it to Earth's gravity, and I have a feeling Soria's probably got something close to Earth's gravity. But I need to remember to do that for some of the other planets. But anyway, what was I doing now? I was going to do something else. I'll look in the chat. See, I told you I'd probably not be able to multitask with this in the chat at the same time and get much done, but let's see what you guys have been saying. Wait, is Estelle? Oh my god, Estelle's in the chat. Estelle! Hey, Estelle, you actually did join. How you doing, Estelle? You probably messaged me on Discord, didn't you? Oh, no, you didn't. Awesome. Yeah, everyone, Crystal's in the chat. I wasn't expecting you to show up in the chat, Estelle. Awesome. Now we got 2 voice actors in the chat. Unless another voice actor showed up and I haven't noticed them yet. Let's see. No, I only see Estelle and Kyle. But anyway, that's awesome. We've been graced by Crystal's presence. And now I can't even remember what the hell I was doing. Well, guys, what was I doing? Okay, I know I was doing something with gravity. I was messing with the gravity. I reduced the health of the helicopters. I think I was going to do something with Kite's uncle. Yeah, I was going to add an event so that he doesn't go down here, because he's not supposed to go down there. He's supposed to stay up there. So, so yeah, it's about a height of 80. So let's go to events, and let's add an event for Kite's uncle so that he doesn't go too low. So I'll put Regent, stay up. Alright, expand. I'll do a repeat count and an interval time of 1 should... No, I'll do an interval time of 0. So, let's check to make sure that the... Oh, well, he doesn't die, so I don't need to check if he's dead. But let's do a logic check to see if he's lower than over there in the distance. So let's go to distance coordinates, get object Y. And let's get his Y coordinates. This is the really boring stuff. I get so bored doing this. So yeah, about 80. And when that is true, I will go to AI control, clear goals for the Regent, and I will make him go, let's see, where should I make him go? I might need to, yeah, I'm going to add a waypoint above the Cloudrunner Fortress that he'll go towards when he gets too low. So I'll call it Rise A. And I'll set it somewhere above the Cloudrunner Fortress. Let me just manually edit its coordinates. So 0, 0, and then Y by 1,000 should be good. I'll make it higher so that he aims really high. Because I'm gonna make it so when he gets within a certain range of this, he starts attacking the player again. So basically, if he flies lower than a Y coordinate of 80, he'll immediately turn around and try and head towards this waypoint up here, and then when he gets closer to that waypoint, he'll start attacking the player again. Really, really simple attack pattern. He's not too complicated compared to the actual boss of this level. Oh yeah, someone in the chat. Crystal Kingdom reminded me I was going to slow down the speed of the gyrocopters. Let me go do that. So let me go back to them. Oh, their speed is really slow. Oh, well, their strafing speed is actually really high. That's probably what's going on. Or, there we go. There's the problem. Their speed actually is a really good speed, but I made it so their afterburner is really fast. Their afterburner is 4 times faster than, or 3 times faster than the max speed of the player. That's crazy. So let me lower their afterburner speed. Thank you for reminding me, Crystal Kingdom. Oh yeah, clear goals. Let me add an AI goal to the Regent so that he flies up to that waypoint. And AI waypoints once. See, if Estelle, are you still in the chat? There's probably people in the chat that'd be curious to ask you questions. Honestly, if you have any questions for any of the voice actors, feel free to ask. Oh, someone's messaging me. Alright, anyway. Okay, so now I've got that event. Now I need to make the event so that he starts attacking the player again when he gets close to that waypoint. So reg re-attack. Re-at. I have such weird names for the events. I have some really bizarre names I've used. Anyway, this one's a repeat. I'll also make this an AND condition because it needs to check. It needs to check to make sure that the fight is actually started, because if I don't do that, then this event will fire right at the start of the level, and the Regent, who's kind of perched here, he'll just immediately start attacking the player. So I need to make sure and check that the event's actually started, which is, where's the event where the fight starts? I think it's, yeah, reg start 01. I'll just make it reg start 02. And then I'll check for his distance to that, I'll check for his distance to that little waypoint there. So distance to center. Where's the Regent? Kite's evil uncle. And the waypoint. There we go. And let's see what would be a good distance. Let's compare that to... that's probably good. Let's see how far away that guy is. So yeah, I'll do a distance of 1,700. You know what? Maybe I'll do 2,000 just so it's a nice millennial number. I'll do 1,800. I can always change it. And then when that happens, we'll do clear his waypoint goal and make it so he goes back to attacking the player. I also forgot to make it so that he goes full speed to the waypoint. So let me add true to that so that he zooms there as fast as he can. And AI chase the player. Okay, so now the uncle shouldn't go flying down there doing crazy stuff. In fact, I actually might... You know what? I just realized there's actually an easier way to do that, because I don't want him to fly like way off into the distance over there either. I should just make it so he stays within a sphere of this waypoint. I don't know why I didn't think of that. So I'm gonna change that first event actually and just make it so that when he just gets too far away from this point, he just goes back to it. Oh, there it is. It's actually up there. So how far away do... I don't want him to go much further than this, so I'll compare distance to this guy. That distance is 2,148. So I'll set it to like probably 2,500. Anyway, let's change this event, and I'll just call it... I'll rename it to reg bounds. So instead of getting his y coordinate, I'm going to basically do an inverse of... I'm going to do an inverse of this event where it checks to see how far away he is, if he's greater than or equal to a certain distance. So let me invert this. Replace greater than or equal to... Actually, I don't even think we need that event. I could just put it in this one. Yeah, I'm a dummy. I don't even need this event. I just need this one here. So let me get rid of that event and do this. And... oh, no, I'm a dummy. I do need that event because one event makes it so that he stops attacking and the other one makes it so he does. So I do need that event. This is my life, like, all the time. Just doing dumb shit like this. Accidentally deleting an event I need, and then this is my life. It's very boring, but I enjoy the results. So anyway, let me redo that. Okay, so the first event will be when he's too far away. This is when he goes back to the point, so that he doesn't like go down there and everything. So let me set that to true. And we want that to be when he's greater than or equal to a distance of 2,500. 26, 25. And then when he gets to about 1,800, you know, I'll lower it a little. No, I'll keep it 1,800. When he gets to 1,800, he starts attacking the player again. And I need to set it so they loop. Do an interval time of 1. Okay, those are both set to loop. There, now the Regent shouldn't fly off and get stuck down there. Kite's uncle should stay within a sphere of about 2,500 of this point up here. So he is capable of going up really high in the sky, and if he does, I'll add another event that makes it so he doesn't go that high, but I think it's ready to test. So let me save it. Anyway, I'll check the comments while I fire the game up. Alright, let's see what's been going on. The AI of the uncle was wonky and the damage with him didn't work I totally forgot to check to see why he wasn't... Why it seemed like he was not taking a lot of damage. In fact, I actually know why. I know why. It's because I gave him... I don't know why me, the player, wasn't taking taking a bunch of damage, but I do know why he wasn't, and it's because of an armor I gave him, I think. He has the armor of a boss. So, where is... Let me go find him in the ship table. He's under Kite somewhere. Where the heck? Wow, I'm really getting ADHD now. Okay, here we go. Yeah, let me get rid of the or did I already get rid of it? Maybe I am wrong. Yeah, I'm not seeing you know what, here it is. Yep, armor type invincible. So what's happening is his head is a turret. And the reason I made his head a turret is so that he can turn his head to like face the player when he's attacking. And if you see here, I made the turret invulnerable or invincible. So what's happening is the player's shots are hitting his head, and no damage is being applied to him. So what I need to do is make it so instead of the armor being invincible, I need to set a damage threshold for his turret so that he still takes damage, but the turret doesn't take any damage. So let me get rid of the armor type there. The problem is because there's limited ship slots in this file right now. He is being used by his ship is using Kite as a base, so the reason it's invincible is because I don't want Kite's head to explode in the levels where she's flying around. So I need to go back to all the levels and set a damage threshold for those levels with Kite. But actually, no, I don't, because Kite's actually invincible in those levels, so I don't need to. So I just imagine a problem that doesn't exist. Anyway, let me add a damage threshold to his head, so that his head doesn't explode and he's flying around headless in the middle of the fight. And I think it's in subsystems and health. Subsystem Guardian threshold for the Regent. Where are you, Regent? And turret 1. And I'll just set it to 50%, because why not? Save. Alright. Now I will fire up the game and look at some questions while it's loading. Let's see, Golden Phoenix Studio asks, question, what is your favorite part of this project? Seeing it all done, I guess, when the level's done, and just seeing it all, like, all in motion. It's worth all the really boring parts. There's some times in these levels where there's a problem I'm dealing with and I can't figure it out, and I'm just doing the same thing over and over and over again. It gets so repetitive and boring. That's like my least favorite part, and that usually happens at least once or twice in every level, where there's a problem I have to like test over and over again to fix, and after several hours it gets really old and annoying. But seeing it all done and working is worth it. And I've had a lot of fun being able to interact with all the voice actors too. Obviously, interacting with Estelle, over the last almost 3 years now is a dream come true. So that's an awesome part of this project. What else? What other awesome things are there? I'm sure there's like 25 other things I can think of, but I'm really tired, so I'm struggling to think of all the awesome stuff. For some reason, all the boring parts are coming to mind first, not the cool stuff. Oh, Rob's voice actor's in the chat now. Toastmax there. Maybe after I get the gyrocopters falling properly in this level, I'll do the event where Rob shows up, even though there's a few events I need to do before that. I still need to do the event where Peppy shows up with the Earthwalker army. But anyway, let's just focus on fixing the problems I just noticed with the Regent. And I just noticed another problem. I need to add all the cloud effects back into the levels, so I'll do that after I test this, though. Someone in the audience, when I'm done with this and I go to the editor, remind me to add nebula poofs, because I'm probably going to forget by the time I'm done testing this. And I'll start it up again and I'll be like, I forgot to add the nebula poofs. Alright, let's trigger the little fight with all the guards now. Yeah, also the talking portrait that Slippy and Gratibug are using right now are placeholders, because they're supposed to be in the prison right now, but if you look at Slippy's talking portrait, it looks like he's in his R-Wing still. Oh, that guy was doing a barrel roll. That was cool. Oh, actually, I keep forgetting. Let me get Slippy out of the prison first. Just gonna fireball at that door. There, I got Slippy out. Let me kill off these guards, or I guess technically I can't kill them, but let me chase them off. I actually just noticed another problem. The guards that are no longer attacking, they started attacking the other guards, so I need to fix that too. They should not do that. It's because they're set to friendly. I need to set them to neutral, not friendly. Because they're set to friendly, so they'll attack any hostiles. I don't know why I haven't noticed that until now. Oh, there you are. Okay, there. I think I got all the guards. I also just noticed, because I disabled the sound effect for the radio, and the timing of all the dialogue boxes is off, but that's fine, because the timing's already off, because when the actual voice lines are put in, I have to redo the timing of them anyway. Alright, now let's see if Kite's uncle behaves himself a little better this time and doesn't fly all the way down there. And let's see if I can actually damage him more properly. Okay, yeah, he's taking damage now. I already got him down to 92. So my theory was right. His head was basically blocking all of the damage, and I was probably only damaging him when I hit him from behind or above or from the side. Although I'm still not taking any damage from him. Yeah, look at that one Cloudrunner chasing after him. I need to fix that. Or actually, What do you guys think? Should the guards that stopped Kite, should they help her fight the Regent, do you think? Or should they just kind of be a little bit fearful and kind of sit on the side to see which royal actually wins the fight? Or maybe just like one random one helps Kite, maybe. I don't know. What do you guys think? What do you think would be better? At the moment, they're not supposed to help Kite. The Cloudrunners are kind of... Actually, I'll go show them. They're all kind of like sitting down here, like watching the fight. I don't know if you can see them sitting there. There's a bunch of them kind of hiding around the city. There's one up here. Anyway, yeah, he's definitely taking damage now. He's down to 84% health. Maybe I should just put the little health bar for him. He's kind of like a boss, but he's technically not the boss of this level, so I didn't put the little boss health bar over to the side for him. Anyway, where is he put this? He's trying to hide down there from me. Oh, where'd he go? There he is. Okay, yep, he's going... Yeah, I think the thing is working. It looked like he was trying to go back up there, and then when he got close enough, he started attacking the player again. So I think that event is working to keep him from going down there. Oh, is he gonna... Oh, yeah, he didn't crash. It's... The AI in this engine is very strange. There's times it seems like it maneuvers like perfectly and avoids crashing into terrain and stuff, and then there's times like that where he just bonked into the building. It's very inconsistent. Oh, I just crashed into the mountain there. The AI's like pathfinding is really inconsistent when it comes to avoiding colliding into stuff, and I'm not really sure why. Asteron might have some idea as to why, but there you go. He's down to 45 health. Come on. You know what, let me try using an ice weapon. I'm not sure which one's better against him yet. I need to stop circling around him. I need to actually dogfight with him. Because he behaves like a fighter craft, and I'm so used to strafing around things with Kite because a lot of the enemies on Soria are kind of slow and not very fast. Most of the faster enemies are ground-based enemies when you're playing as Tricky, but it wasn't really intentional. But a lot of the enemies that you fight as Kite, they're slower. So, but sorry, I'm getting really distracted trying to fight him. Yeah, I think he's too fast for the ice blast. So I'm just gonna go back to using the fireballs. There we go. He's almost dead. And again, I keep forgetting to actually dogfight. Sky jousting! There we go, got him. Alright, now general scales should be showing up. Yep, there he is. And all the Cloudrunners should take off in just a second. So I'll just park here and... Yep, now they're all taking off. Alright, now let's go test out those gyrocopters. Oh, I see one of them spinning out of control right there already. I don't know how he got shot, but he doesn't look like he's falling, though. Oh, he's not dead. He just was spinning out of control for some reason. That was weird. Oh, there we go. Now he's crashing. Whee! Doesn't look like he's falling fast enough, though. Huh. He's falling, but he's not falling nearly fast enough. I probably just need to tweak the gravity constant value. Yeah, they're not falling fast enough. I need to figure out why. But anyway, let me destroy a few more and see if I notice any more weird things. Oh, is he gonna crash into the ship? Yeah, he crashed into the frigate. Awesome. That was really cool. I love little things like that. That was like perfect timing. Okay, now I'm taking damage, so there's definitely something going on with the flame breath from the Regent. I'm not sure why the player's not taking any damage from him. I need to go actually look at the fire breath and find out if maybe the damage values are really low. Anyway, that's as far as I've got to, as far as like events in this level, so I'm going to need to add the next event, which is a bunch of troop ships that are trying to land on these platforms here, and then they start dumping a bunch of soldiers to go attack the fortress. So that's the next thing I'm going to add, but I'm trying to think if there's anything else I need to look for. Nah, that should be good. Oh, okay, so first off, the nebula poofs. Let me add those really quick. Whoops, I need to disable all of these nebula poofs. Oh, I guess it disabled them all. But anyway, I want clouds. Don't think I want heavy white fog. You know what? I might make it so that there's rain in this level. Maybe, I kind of already did that with Discovery Falls, where as the level goes on, it starts to rain more. I don't know, I'll think about that. What do you guys think? Should there be rain in this level, or should that just be the Discovery Falls thing for this for that level, where the rain's kind of the theme? I'll have to think about that. But I definitely want white clouds. Or do I want... Actually, it's only letting me select one. That's really weird. There we go. I'd hold shift. I'll add those two types of clouds. And I want to display background bitmaps. If I don't tick that right there, I also want to set the range to something higher, like 7,000. And I'll set the pattern to blue. If I don't tick this thing right here, then all the background bitmaps will not show up, like the Snowhorn Mountains over there. I haven't added all the... I need to add all the background bitmaps to this level at some point. But that's usually one of the last things I do, because they're pretty much unnecessary for the function of the level. They're just there for aesthetics. So I usually don't add the bitmaps until the very end, or I'm almost done with the level. Anyway, I haven't looked at the chat for a while. Let's see. I don't see any questions. Make it rain when Scale shows up. Oh, hi, Sobin. Yeah, Sobin's in the chat. Sobin is a really cool artist who's done some pixel art for me. Sobin, I might actually have a commission for you sometime. I want to say the next year. Probably won't be soon, but I might actually have a commission for you. So I'll message you about that sometime later. Let's see what Astroth is saying. It would be regular collision damage, which in most cases like this will be pretty low. Oh yeah, I forgot to look to see what you guys were saying about the guards. So there could be groups that take both sides and a bunch that are too scared to pick a side. I kind of like the idea that at least one of the guards I might just make one of the guards, like just one random, maybe not a random one, maybe he will be a specific one. A specific guard, maybe, or maybe as he takes damage, they start joining in the fight. Maybe as you keep damaging the Regent, like when he's down to like 90 health, maybe one of the guards helps you, and then when he's almost dead, they're all like ganging up on him with Kite. Maybe, I don't know. I'll think about it, but I kind of like the idea of at least one of them helping out Kite, because to me, the Cloudrunners, they're kind of theme, and you kind of see this in the original Dinosaur Planet too. They're very kind of like aloof and detached, whereas the Earthwalkers are almost like the exact opposite. So I kind of have this idea that the culture of the Cloudrunners, they're very kind of like snooty and detached, and they don't like to interfere with things. And they kind of feel like they're above everyone else. So I feel like realistically they would kind of sit on the side to see what happens, but man, that would make the Royal Guard just so heartless if none of them decided to help Kite. Especially if some of them are like, nah, she's the rightful heir. Or I don't know. I'll think about that. But I forgot what I was gonna do. I did the poofs. I was going to do something else. God, what else was I gonna do? I think I'm gonna, if I do these live streams, I'm gonna need to open up like Notepad and mark down the things I need to do because I'm forgetting what I was gonna do. Maybe you guys in the audience remember what I was gonna do. Yeah, so Sobin, you kind of said what I was saying just with a timer. Maybe I could make it timer based. Oh, I was gonna check the gyrocopters and find out why they were falling so slow. They were falling really quickly in my little test level, but they were falling very slowly when I did this. So let me go back to the gyro fighter. And just I'll up the speed of the gravity constant. Let me find it. Where is it? I think it was up above. Yeah, dying gravity constant. Let me set it to 10. See, I'm not sure why they were falling so slowly here, but they were falling at a good speed on the other level. That was so cool, though. I'm glad I caught it while recording. That one that was falling down and it crashed into the large sharp claw ship. That was so cool. That was 1 in a million. Like perfect timing. Oh yeah, the ground troops. Let me place the transport ships. That was what I was gonna do next. So let's go find the sharp claw troop transports. Where are they? Right there. So I'll probably have 2 waves of them, and each wave will split up into 4 ships. Put them into a wing. Let's see, transport wing A. And then I'll rotate them. And I'll make a second one. Oops, don't want to rotate them like that. I meant to move them. Select them all, and let me duplicate them and make transport wing B. Transport wing B. So the vent I'm going to do with these guys is a little tricky because what I need them to do is go above these platforms, come to a complete stop, and then slowly land. And then when they land, I have troops spawn under them. So this is actually going to be a relatively complicated event. That's probably going to need a lot of trial and error. So I have a feeling after about an hour of this, I'm probably going to rage quit doing this event and finish it later. I'm predicting getting these to do what I want them to do is going to be a lot of trial and error. But we'll find out soon enough. So let me go to their wing and put them in. Actually, I don't want them in default. I want them in ground formation because they're gonna land. Actually, I'm gonna completely disable their formation because I just realized if they're in formation, then yeah, they're gonna try and stay in formation and they won't land properly. There's a really funny thing about the AI in this engine that Astaroth fixed. Another miracle script thing Astaroth did. The AI in this game, if it's in formation with a wing, it is absolutely hellbent on staying in that formation at all costs. And it will do crazy stuff to stay in formation, including crashing into anything in order to... Because you see how these ships are in like this triangle formation here? These ships will do everything in their power to stay in that triangle formation no matter what. And that can lead to all kinds of wacky things happening. Now, in the original game, it's set in space, so it's not that big of a deal. Because free space, every level is, you know, in a big empty vacuum. But in these ground levels, it could lead to all kinds of really hilarious stuff happening. Or in like a really big fleet battle with like giant capital ships, they'll bonk into each other as they're trying to stay in formation. So Astaroth made it so that the formations can be disabled, which solves all of those problems. But for some reason, there was no way to disable formations in the engine from the get-go. It had to be added in by someone, and that someone was Astaroth. But anyway, so actually, since they're gonna break formation, I want them in pairs of 2. Because what's gonna happen is these 2 wings, they're 2 wings of 6. They're each gonna break off into 2, and then 2 of them will go to each platform and try to land their troops. So I'll set these ones. I want 1 and 2 over here, and 3 and 4 in the middle, and then 5 and 6 go to the go to the other one over there. Where is it? Okay, so yeah, probably about like right there. Let me line them up. They're probably like not even lined up properly. Okay, yeah, and those ones will go there. And then I'm going to need 4 completely separate waypoints. And then the second wing, I'll have them start maybe more close together. So B1 and B2 over here. B3 and B4 in the middle. And B5 and B6 over there. Whoops, didn't mean to do that. Alright. It looks a little sloppy. I'll make it look nicer after I get everything working. Like I said when I started the stream, a lot of the stuff in this level is sloppy at the moment because it's still in the process of being made. But let's see. Zealous Wilder says, do you have different values for space battle gravity and atmosphere battle gravity? Well, there's no gravity values at all in space because there's no gravity in space. Earlier in the stream, I don't know if you were there, but I'd mentioned that each of the different planets in Star Fox does have different gravity. In the strategy guide for Star Fox 64, it actually gives the gravity values for all the different planets. So all the different planets are going to have different gravity values, so that things behave a little bit different. Like I really have to think about it because there's some weapons that are actually affected by gravity, like artillery. And it might be too confusing for players if in almost every level their artillery like arcs in a different way. So it's something I'll have to test, but at the moment I want to make it so all the different planets do have different gravity values. For Saria, though, I think I'm just going to keep it to Earth gravity because it's a relatively Earth-like planet. Corneria will probably have Earth gravity too. Now, Venom is probably going to have high gravity. In fact, I'm pretty sure I do have a higher than normal value for Venom. So when things crash into Venom, they'll probably fall really fast. Because in Star Fox 64, Venom's a really large planet, which implies that it has heavy gravity. Although, not necessarily. It depends on how dense the planet is and what its core is like. Venom could be a very light planet for all we know, despite the fact that it's so big. I'd have to look in the Star Fox guide because it says... You know what? I'll do that right now. Let me look up Venom's gravity. We're going on a tangent here. I've got the 64 guide somewhere here on my computer, but it froze because of course it did. Let's see, Star Fox 64 Nintendo Power official strategy guide. Let's see what Venom's gravity is. Is it really heavy or really light? Let me zoom down. There's Zonus. Where's Venom? I'm gonna have to Control F for Venom. I just realized you guys probably can't see this because it's on my other computer. I controlled F Venom and it's not showing up. That's weird. Guess I'll just have to go there manually. Sorry guys for this tangent. I have to know what the gravity on Venom is. Okay, there's Venom. Let's see, where's the statistics for the planet? There's the statue stuff. Here we go. Finish loading, darn it. Okay, let's see. Venom, Planetary Compendium. Venom is a harsh frontier world, blah, blah, blah. So, gravity 1.43. It's lighter than Earth. Oh, wait, no, yeah, sorry, duh. It's heavier than Earth. What? I'm a dummy. Okay, so it's about See, one Earth gravity. It's a little bit heavier than Earth gravity, but it's not as heavy as I was thinking. So if Earth gravity is 9.8, then Venom would be. Oh, my math is so bad. Someone who's better at math, tell me what the gravity value for Venom would... You know what, I got a calculator. I'll be lazy, I'll just use the calculator. 9.8 times 1.43. So about 14, gravity value of about 14, unless my math was wrong. I'm terrible at math, everyone. I have no idea how I got an A in pre-calculus and calculus. I have no idea how I did it. I've always been terrible at math. So if I did that calculation wrong, someone in the audience will correct me. But anyway, hopefully that answers the question. That was a bit of a tangent for gravity. Let's see what you guys are saying. See, also, the atmosphere density could affect the gravity, like with Venus. Yeah, that's true, but according to the Star Fox guide, it's 1.43, so it's heavier than Earth. But for some reason, I was expecting Venom to be even heavier, but apparently I'm wrong. But anyway, I need to add a bunch of waypoints for these ships. I'm going to need to add 4 for each landing platform, so let's make sure they're separate. This actually might be one of the most complicated events I've done in this game that I can think of, because there's going to be a lot of different ships doing different things independent of each other, and then all the troops, and yeah, this will be a doozy. So let's see. Platform. I'll do Plat A, Land 1. And then Plat A, Land 2. Plat A, Land 3, and Plat A, Land 4. Let's see. Did you catch my recommendation for Slippy and Gratibug? No, I didn't. Let me see if I can spot it by zooming back up. Let's see. If the Regent is working with scales, any one of them is duty-minded would. Okay, one thing, sorry, I'm going on a tangent looking for your Slippy and Gratibug thing. Type your Slippy Gratibug thing while I'm responding to something else you said. At this point, again, the events of the Soria campaign change slightly depending on the path you go on. And the Royal Guards here with the Regent, they have no idea who killed the Queen. And from their perspective, the Sharp Claw are neutral. And the guards don't really have a reason to think that the uncle working with the Sharp Claws is necessarily a bad thing. Some of them probably raised their eyes because he gave away the spell stone to the Sharp Claw, although it's possible they're not aware of that. But there's nothing at the moment, at this point of the game, where the Royal Guards are suspicious of an alliance between the Sharp Claw and the Cloudrunners. They're not really aware of all the crazy shit going on. They're not aware that Scales killed their queen. The Regent, I wouldn't be surprised if the Regent even like set that whole thing up somehow. Because in the original Dinosaur Planet, Kite's uncle, he was relatively minor, but he didn't have a name, but he was a relatively important character. He turned on the Cloudrunners and kind of sold them out to Scales, and then he ends up killing himself in Dinosaur Planet. He if I remember right in the storyboards, he like grabs some dynamite and like tries to fly into Scales and like kamikaze him, which is really metal. And actually, it's kind of hard to notice it in the Walled City level because you're running around as Tricky. It'll be easier to notice it in this level. But in the Walled City level, he actually kamikazes into General Scales' ship. And in this level, he's going to do it too. When Scales tries to run away, he'll zoom after Scales' ship and crash into it. But that was a long-winded answer to that statement. But anyway, let me look for your Slippy and Gratibug. Slippy and Gratibug went far off the level during... Yeah, I think what's happening with Slippy and Gratibug is there's somewhere here in the geometry where they're falling off. They're supposed to come over to here, to this waypoint here, and wait here until the Sharp Claws attack. And then this door gets busted open, and then they go into the Cloudrunner Fortress, which, when this door opens, you can actually go into the Cloudrunner Fortress. Surprise! There's a whole, like, kind of tunnel network here through the Cloudrunner Fortress that you can kind of go through. It's kind of barren right now. I haven't put, like, the little torches and stuff. But, yeah, there's a network of tunnels that you can go through the Cloudrunner Fortress. And then the Earthwalker army, that's how they get into the fortress. They come in down here. There's an entrance. Again, it's kind of barren at the moment. But Gratibug opens up this door here, and then the Earthwalker army kind of like comes up into the fortress, and then the Earthwalker army basically garrisons the fortress all along here. They garrison the fortress here to kind of stop the Sharp Claw from getting in, and that kind of starts the process of reconciliation between the Earthwalkers and the Cloudrunners. But oh yeah, those waypoints. Oh yeah. Let me see. What else were you saying about Slippy and Gratibug? Yeah, I haven't finished Slippy and Gratibug's pathfinding yet, but I suspect there's something weird happening here. In fact, I'm pretty sure I know what's happening. Right here, I suspect the pathfinding in between here is a little wonky, and they're probably bumping into this pillar or something. And then the AI is just like, derp, I don't know where to go. And it's trying to go back, and it's probably doing something weird. Now, I have a collision barrier thing here so that they don't go running off into the abyss, but somehow I think they are, and I'm not sure. I'll have to like really pay attention to them to see what's going on, which I haven't done yet, but because I've been just focused on other things in the level. Like this right here. Let's see. Rio Tempest asks, have you ever considered making yourself an OC villain to be the secret boss and your voice acting? Well, I'm not going to voice act anyone because I despise the sound of my voice. But there was an original villain I was going to have in the next part. It was this Cobra character. She's like this Cobra that was from Venom. But I actually think I'm going to take that character and save her for my original game because I really like the design for that Cobra character. So I don't think she's going to be in this. I haven't decided yet. She might still end up in this game, but she was an original villain I was going to have. And then the other Serenian character, who is obviously still going to be in the game, she's an original villain. But I'm definitely not going to do her voiceovers. But other than that, I don't think I have any original antagonists. They're all the ones from the Star Fox series. Andros Scales, Shears, the Aperoids, the Anglars, and then the Serenian character is the last villain. Let's see, depending on how the Spellstones are viewed in culture, him revealing that he gave it away could be a huge catalyst. Actually, that's a pretty good idea. So yeah, maybe they're not aware of it, or maybe some of them might be in on it. You know what? I know how to solve I think some of the guards should side with him, and some of them should side with Kite, and the guards fight each other. But the guards don't go after either Kite or the Regent. So Kite and her uncle are fighting while the guards are fighting each other in the background. I think that might look kind of cool. And that would also make more sense when Scales shows up and he says, like, oh, you Cloudrunners are fighting each other, you dummies, I'm going to steal all your treasure. Because at the moment when he shows up, it's just Kite and the uncle fighting each other. It probably doesn't look that spectacular, but if there's a bunch of Cloudrunner guards all fighting each other in the sky, then Scales would see that and probably start taunting them or something. So I think that's the route I'm going to go. I'll do that after I finish this part with the troop ships landing. So let me move these over the platform and kind of set them above the platform. So what's going to happen is they're going to move over these. And then when each one gets to one of these points, it's going to stop their movement, and then I'm going to do a ship maneuver event where they land. And then I'll need them to spawn all the troops underneath. But let me lower these a little bit. I don't want them too low because then they might bonk into this and crash and explode and do the player's job for them. So, actually, let me see how big these ships are compared to the platforms. Just drag an extra one over here. Because I'm a dummy. I didn't even see if they'd fit on the platform properly. I'm pretty sure they're big enough, but these are modeled, the scale of these are modeled after the larger, okay, yeah, these are actually bigger than I thought, but that's fine. I think 4 of them can fit on here. Yeah, 4 of them can fit on here just fine. But I'll go ahead and show, this was scaled for the larger transport ships, but I ended up wanting to use the ones from Adventures, because I actually don't use those ships that much in this game, and I feel like they should get used more. Where is the bigger one? Cargo. This is the one that was, actually, maybe it wasn't, because it's actually way too big for it. So, yeah, it's a good thing I ended up using the smaller ones, because the big one doesn't even fit on the platform there. Alright. Maybe I'll have the big one land down there or something. I don't know. Or I just won't have the big ones. I'll just use the smaller ships in this level. That was, again, one of those happy accidental decisions that actually ended up working. Because my original plan was to use the bigger landing ships, but they won't even fit on the platform because they're too big. So let me lower these a little bit and line them up. Alright, that I'll probably have to tweak it a little bit. They might not align perfectly, but I'll find out when I test that event. That one's a little bit too far. Okay, there we go. Alright. Save. How long have I been going? Almost 2 hours, so I'll try and finish this event, and then I might go eat lunch, because I'm actually getting really hungry. But, let me just finish setting up this event, and then I might wrap up for today, and maybe I'll do this tomorrow, I don't know. I'll see what everyone's opinion on this is after it's done, if it's worth to keep doing. Oh, I didn't copy the names over. That's weird. So let me get those names again. Plat B Land 1. Copy. And Plat B Land 2. Plat B Land 3. And Plat B Land 4. Let's drag that over. Alrighty. However, one thing I've definitely learned from the stream, as I predicted, is I definitely work slower when I'm live streaming. Me trying to look at the chat every now and again, and then going on tangents about Venom's gravity. Oops, did not mean to do that. Okay. So, let's name these ones. Plat C Land 1. Plat C Land 2. Plat C Land 3. And Land 4. Okay, so file save. Now those are in place. Let me set initial orders. Oh no, that's not going to work because they need individual orders, so I need to do it in an event. Well, there's some other things I need to do with their wings. I need to make it so that their goals are not dynamic, because then if they get attacked by the player, they might fly off and do something else. Or if they see an enemy, they might break off of their movement order and go attack an enemy. And then I need to make it so that when they show up, they don't try and stay hell-bent in formation. So let me go after the Regent's dead and make a new event. Transport, just trans P, because I don't want it to be super long. ARR for arrive, and then A, and then O1. Okay, so when the transports arrive, I want them to not go into formation, which is in wing flag. Waypoints no formation. And I want that true, and then let me name the wings. Transport wing A and transport wing B. And I just realized I spelled transport wing A completely wrong. Transorit, what did I put? Transoirt wings. Whoops. Transport wing, there we go. Oh, whoops. Oh, that was a weird error. It looks like it worked, even though it just gave me a little error and said it just said it couldn't rename it, but it did, so that was weird. Anyway, back to the event. So yeah, I don't want them to go in formation. I want you to clear any goals that they might think they have. And then each individual one is going to be going after a certain platform. So AI control add goal to, okay, where's A1? A1 is over there. I want A1 to go to Plat A Land 1, which actually should be on the other side, I think. So am I right? No, that's right. Okay, so replace order waypoints once. Apparently I placed that one first. Alright, and I don't want them to use their afterburners, so let me put false so that they don't freaking zoom super fast and then fly past their little waypoint things, and then lots of bad things happen. And then I need to do an individual one for each other ship, so this is going to take a little while. In fact, this is probably faster to do it in Notepad. So let me just open the level up in Notepad and just do it here, because it's way faster to do it here. Transport wing A1. So, did I spell it wrong? How did I spell it here? What did I do wrong? No, I did it right. Is this the wrong mission? Oh, duh, that's the walled city level. Derp. Oh, I don't think... Okay, I think I know what was going on with the sorry, I'm totally having an ADHD moment. I think I know why the gyrocopters weren't falling fast. I actually think I forgot to... save when I added gravity to here. Yep, okay. So, whoops. Let me save. Alright, I know why they weren't falling fast, so I need to go fix that, because, yeah, when I added the gravity to the initialization event in Notepad, I forgot to save it, and then I edited the mission in the editor, and it went over, it went over what I put here, so that's why they weren't falling fast. Even with the value of 5. Initialize. Okay, let me add the gravity there. Set gravity acceleration 981. There, now it's saved. Okay. So, transports arrive. Did it not save the transports arrive event, or did I spell it wrong? There it is. Okay. So what I was originally going to do is it's just way faster to copy paste this and just change the name of each one. So transport wing A2 and land 2. Oh wait. Okay, yeah, no, that's right. And then transport wing A3. This is land B. I need to remember that. I named the waypoints that they go to a little. I used a slightly different naming convention for the waypoints that they're supposed to go to, so they don't exactly match up to the names of the naming convention of the ship. So I need to keep that in mind. Because, yeah, the way I named the wings, you know, A1, A2, A3, A4, you'd think they'd go to land 1, land 2, land 3, land 4, but the first two, A1 and A2, go to platform A, land 1, and platform A, land 2, but A3 and A4 go to platform B, land 1, and platform B, land 2. So I kind of screwed up with the naming convention, though, but as long as I am aware of that, it shouldn't be a problem. So yeah, 5 and 6 will go to platform C, land 1, and C, land 2. And after I finish pasting these, I'll look at the chat, because I realize I haven't looked at the chat in a long time. Whoops. Uh-oh. Did not mean to do that. Freaking notepad. And then let me do this for transport wing B. Let's move this down here. So this will be land 4 and land 3. And this will be B5 and B6. Transport wing Babylon 5. And this is platform land 3 and 4. And 3 and 4. Okay. And then when I open it up and save it, it'll organize this all nicely for me, so it allows me to be really sloppy with all the spacing in there. But when I open up the level here and then save it, it'll organize everything nice and neat for me. If it ever load, there we go. That was weird. So let me save it, and then there we go. Now it organized it all nice and neat for me. Okay. So those should all go to their waypoints, and then I want their arrival queues so that they show up when that event goes off. So when event is true, transport arrives. And then the second wing, I'll put a little delay so that they don't show up right exactly when the first ones show up. So I'll give them a delay of maybe 10 seconds. And then these guys, I need to give a call sign of priority so that the little red triangle shows up above them. Priority. So, because things get so hectic in some of these levels that if it wasn't for those little like triangle markers, you'd never be able to find your targets in the mess. Actually, I think it was Astaroth that made that possible in the engine. Yet another miracle thing he did. He made it so the little, you know how, you know in Star Fox when you see the little triangles above your wingmen, you know, with the S and the F for, you know, Slippy and Falco. He made that possible, and then I realized, oh, I could apply that to other targets too, that the player needs to attack. Because before those were added into the engine, sometimes it would be really difficult to find your target in these ginormous battles with like hundreds of fighters attacking each other. So that really helped big time. Alright, now those all have priority on them, so they should all show up with the little triangles above them. And then, what else do I need to do for them? I think they're set up. Let me go to the event and make it so that their arrival event triggers right after the Regent spazzes out and Scales shows up. I'll just set it to go off 10 seconds after everyone starts fighting each other. And let me look at the comments in the chat. I haven't been paying attention to the chat for a while now. Let's see. Dead Channel asks, I was wondering, why did you change your name into Ice Cream Man? I just think Ice Cream Man sounds more positive than my old name. I mean, my old username, Undying Nephilim, most people probably don't really know what it means, but it has some really messed up implications that I just don't want to associate with anymore. For those that don't know, Nephilim are basically these giant horrific monsters that are cannibals and are hell-bent on wiping out mankind, and they're associated with the world ending and just all kinds of like negative stuff. I just didn't really want to be associated with that anymore. So I changed myself to Ice Cream Man. And Ice Cream Man is also a bit of an inside joke too, that between me and some other people. And I don't know, I just think it sounds more positive. So about 2 years ago, I kind of just switched over to Ice Cream Man, but Undying Nephilim is plastered all over a bunch of stuff, so that name still kind of floats around like a specter haunting me, which, if you know anything about the deep Nephilim lore, there's an irony to that. About all the freaking, the spirits of the Nephilim that Mastema, like, sends, whatever. I'm still haunted by the freaking name I chose all those years ago. Anyway, hopefully that answers the question. I don't really want to associate with all of the Nephilim stuff anymore, and Ice Cream Man. You know, everyone loves ice cream. Even me. Like, I'm a really boring person that doesn't really like that many sweets and desserts and stuff, but I love ice cream, so. See, we're they're basically super people. Yeah, I don't want to go on a whole tangent on the mythology of Nephilim, but they're described in a lot of ancient cultures as superhuman, but they really are more like they're more like ogres. Like they're powerful, but there's something they're. Wow, I'm really going on to a huge tangent here. Sorry, everyone, for the ancient mythology tangent. But funnily enough, the Nephilim are in the original Dinosaur Planet game, so they're kind of tangentially related to this project, I guess. In Dinosaur Planet, at the end of the game, during the alignment of the planets, the two Krazoa are going on about all the different planets, and they mention the Nephilim, the race of giants. So the Nephilim actually are apparently in the original Dinosaur Planet game, but in different, there's variations depending on the mythology, but the Nephilim, they're basically, I'm trying to find a way to like sum it up in a brief sentence without going into a huge like mythology tangent, because there's so much to go over when it comes to the Nephilim. But they kind of represent like an undoing of identity and creation. Basically, you have this idea in different mythologies and religions where you have things are put into categories and named. Like a really simple example is in the Garden of Eden story. You have Adam naming the different animals, putting them all in different categories, differentiating them, and that process of naming things and putting things into categories creates order, and it creates a stable world. And the Nephilim are an undoing of that process. They're a mixing of different identities and categories and blending of things back together. So they're very much like a reversal of creation, which is why they lead to the destruction of the world. They end up bringing about a flood. In different mythologies, it's a bit different. In a lot of mythologies, they're actually seen as a positive thing. They're seen as something you can get power from. You even see that in the Jack and the Beanstalk story, where he kind of learns all of these secrets about how the universe works by going into the sky and messing with the giants. But they really are a very dangerous and destructive thing that's connected to the world ending, and I didn't really want to be associated with that. But mythologically, they're an undoing of creation, which is why, and they're connected to all kinds of things that are related to that, like hybridization, cannibalism, inbreeding, all these really horrible, disgusting things, like all of these processes that don't lead to things properly self-propagating, like they're connected to, you know, cannibalism. You're eating yourself. You're kind of getting rid of expanding identity, and my head's kind of breaking now trying to put it all into words. Hopefully I don't sound like I'm babbling now. I feel like that was a really wacky tangent from what we're working on here, but hopefully that answers the question about why I switched my name. Dead Channel says, I want to say you did an amazing job making that Medieval 2 mod. You're best man. Also, thank you for putting Vadi inside Hyrule Total War. And yes, that answers the question. I'm thankful you like Hyrule Total War. I came to really despise Hyrule Total War, which is why I changed engines. And it wasn't the game itself. It was the Medieval 2 engine is just... It is a terrible engine to mod in. There's all kinds of problems with it, and they just kept building and building over the years, and finally I'm like, you know what, I need an actual proper engine to make a freaking Zelda RTS, and I switched over to Pyrogenesis, which is a much better engine. But yeah, thank you. I'm glad you liked that game. Let's see, what other questions you guys got? On a slightly different note, do you have a favorite level in the Lilat Wars campaign? I want to say the Bulls defense outpost level might be my favorite, even though I need to fix some things about it. I love how I was able, because I don't know why I always, maybe it's just, you know, because the fucking Death Star in Star Wars or whatever, I always like, I like star-based sieges in science fiction. There's a really wonderful inverse of that in Star Trek with DS9, where they actually are the giant base, like holding out against a giant fleet. So I love games where you're a fleet going against like a giant star base, and that doesn't really show up much in a lot of sci-fi or either in shows or video games, where there's like a large, powerful star base or something that's being sieged or being defended against. And I just really liked how that level turned out when you're approaching the Bulls outpost with the fleet, and then all the cannons are like slowly starting to aim at all the ships, and I love how that turned out. There's a few things in that level that I need to fix though that aren't working properly. All the fighters coming out the top, you can't really see them because you're so far away. But now, like I was talking about earlier, I got the little priority icons I can add to them, so you can see all these like little red dots showing up on the screen as they're coming out the top of the base. So I like that level a lot. I'm tempted to say that one's my favorite. Let me think, what other levels are there? I like the Titania level, but it's probably not my favorite. Maybe if I do a little more work on the Titania levels, they might become my favorite. But I really like just being stranded in the desert, just Fox and Bill or Fox and Farah if you do the nighttime path, just kind of like trying to get through the desert in one piece. I like that level quite a bit. What other levels are there? Those are probably my two favorite ones. I kind of like almost all of them in their own ways, though. I think my least favorite is probably Solar, which it was my least favorite in 64 too. Actually, no. Sorry, Sector Z was my least favorite in Star Fox 64, but I like how Sector Z turned out in Event Horizon. But Solar, I don't know why. I like the intro of the Solar level when the EMP goes off and everyone's like crashing into the star, but something about that level, I need to tweak that level or something. Something's missing from the Solar level. But anyway, let's see what other questions there are. See, I do think it's, Blazieth says, I do think it's neat how you kept switching the easy and hard missions around. Yeah, I don't know why I did that. I had a weird impulse to just flip all of the hard and the easy levels around. I did that with Meteo and Sector Y also. I think, if I were to guess, it's because when I first played 64, I actually thought Meteo was harder than Sector Y. I always felt Sector Y was a really easy level in Star Fox 64. The boss is really easy too. There might have been some subconscious thing going on there where I flipped those 2 levels around, and then I did it for some of the other levels. Blizzy, I love your take on Solar, honestly. The original mission was a case of, hey guys, let's fly to the sun. This is a stupid mission, you can't prove me wrong. Yeah, I don't remember, why did they go to Solar in 64? It did seem kind of random why they went there. And it seemed like they didn't know there was a bioweapon being developed there, or maybe they did and I'm misremembering, but this time it's called out as a stupid idea. Well, the thing is, in this case, if it worked, it wouldn't have been, if they were able to mask themselves while they were jumping, it would have been a good idea. It only ended up being a stupid idea because Shears is a filthy traitor. So it's one of those things where history would have remembered it differently if Shears didn't sabotage the whole plan with the EMP. Actually, at that point, I don't remember if Shears had turned on them yet at that point. My really bad memory is starting to show here. I actually am not sure if Shears had become turncoat at that point yet. I'm trying to remember. I think he did. There's a few levels where Shears hasn't actually turncoat yet. That might be the point where he did. I'll have to think about that because I don't remember now. So what will you do if you finally get your own independent game engine? Well, the next game I'm working on is probably going to be an Unreal. I'm not going to make my own engine. It's just too much work. If I had like a fucking army of people make, a brand new engine, sure. But Unreal's a really good engine, and I've been messing with Unreal for a few years now. So that'll probably be the engine I use for a brand new independent game. I know Unreal kind of has a little bit of a bad rap right now, which is unfortunate because it's a lot of people are like, oh, all the Unreal games, they all look the same, and like a lot of them look the same, but it's not because of Unreal. That's because people like the look of Unreal, like Unreal's kind of default setting. So sorry, I'm getting tongue-tied. People generally liked the look of Unreal's kind of default look, but you can change the way the games in it look, by messing with things. There's there's cartoony games that have been made in Unreal that don't look anything like the Unreal look. So it's possible to do a wide variety of different things in Unreal. So Unreal isn't the problem. It's just a bunch of people want to emulate that Unreal tournament style pseudo-realistic kind of looking stuff. But yeah, Unreal 5 is a pretty great engine, which is why it's used so much, because it's good at its job. Anyway, I think this ended up kind of turning into a Q&A, so I might just do a Q&A for a little bit, and then I might go eat because I'm starving now, and I'll leave this level on pause for a little bit. I feel like I didn't get that much done today, at least compared to what I normally get done in 2.5 hours, but I got something done at least. I got the gyrocopters to fall, which reminds me I need to go fix that really quick. Let me fix that really quick before I pause here. Let me go back to the falling value and change it back to 5 instead of 10, because I have a feeling 10 is way too fast. Where is it? Dying gravity constant. Let me set you back to 5. Alright, cool. Anyway. Yeah, I guess this has turned into a Q&A stream now. Let's see. So what will you do if you finally get your own independent game engine? I also see one of your older mods, Star Fox RTS. Wish to see that again one day. I was saying earlier in the stream, I'm working with someone in Unreal right now on a new project. I don't want to say too much about it. If you look through my YouTube channel, I have some videos of the original game I do want to make. With the character of Norin, she's that blue fairy frog character that Estelle Ellis voices. The working title of the game is Squadron Sigma. I have some videos floating around on my YouTube if you want to look at that. That's the game I want to work on. but I'm working with someone else. We're trying to put together, we want to put together a relatively simple game that we could work on in less than 2 years, while him and I are both working on our own projects. In my case, Star Fox, and he's working on, I don't want to say who it is yet. He also might not want to get named, but someone who he's worked in the industry for 20 years. And he found me about 6 months ago, and we've been slowly getting to know each other. And he actually, he got something to work in the Star Fox game, but if I say what he got to work, Astroth will instantly know who I'm talking about. But he's proven himself. He's a really good programmer, and him and I have been discussing a lot of stuff over the last several weeks, and we might be working on a relatively simple but brand new game that is of it. I'm not sure how to put it. Let's just say it very blatantly rips off the setting of Star Fox, but it's not going to be a Star Fox style game. It's going to be something a little more arcadey. I don't want to say too much about it because there's a possibility Astaroth knows who I'm talking about. Astaroth, if you're interested in working on a brand new original game, hit me up. But it's going to be a relatively small multiplayer arcade couch co-op type of game with anthro characters. And I don't want to talk too much about it because we're still not 100% sure if it's going to happen. We're still not 100% sure what we're doing. It might just turn into the other game that I really want to work on, that I already started working on. But hopefully that answers your question. There's plans for original stuff in the future. But anyway, let's see what other questions there are. It was unusual that the Venomians only targeted the Great Fox in the Sector Z mission. Well, that's because all the Cornerian ships bail out in that level. Shears leaves the Great Fox behind, and the Great Fox is the only ship left in Sector Z. Unless you mean in Star Fox 64. In this game, though, the Great Fox is the only ship left for them to target with the missiles at that point. Until the Aquan fleet shows up, but the missiles, I think, are gone by then, if I remember right. Let's see, will the Wolfen 2 make a comeback? I think they will. If I remember right, I actually made the Wolfen 2, because as time goes on in the Assault segment of the game, the different Star Wolf members get different variations of the Wolfen, and the Wolfen 2, I think, is the one I gave to Oda, but I'm not sure now. Again, my memory's really bad, and I haven't thought about that in a long time, so I'm forgetting now. Someone has the Wolfen 2. I don't remember who. Let's see. I hope to know... See, Dead Channel says, I hope to get to know you well one day, but for now I'll be taking notes. I also don't think that once you have an independent studio, you'll instantly become antagonistic. Yeah. I mean, antagonistic to who? I don't plan on becoming antagonistic to anyone. See, the Cornerians don't bail until after. Really? Wow, I'm completely misremembering that. I thought they bailed out before the missiles show up. That goes to show how bad my memory is. This is why I have to take, notes on everything, because, I'm not kidding. My memory's gotten so bad, I'll be doing something, and then I'll realize I need to look up something on Google or something, and then I'll go open up Google, and I'll be sitting there for 20 seconds, what the hell was I just about to look up on Google? My memory's getting really bad. I really hope it's not an actual, health or psychological problem, but it's, ever since, I would say, the last 3 to 4 years, my memory's been getting really bad. I know a few people where that's also happening to them, so I suspect there's something else going on, and it's not a health thing. I suspect just with all the crazy shit going on in the world, it's broken everyone's brains, mine included, but I don't know. My memory's been getting really bad. See, Blaze it. They do bail before the boss arrives, but Shears comments on the nuclear. Okay, yeah, no, I do remember Shears saying they have atomics or something. So I feel like they bail out before the missiles actually start to go after targets. I don't know. I'll have to look up the level on YouTube and see what I did. When all the voiceovers are done for that level, I'll have a better idea. But actually, one of the reasons they might be going after the Great Fox is Shears might have become a turncoat at that point. Again, I don't remember if Shears had turncoat by that level or if it's after, but he might have turncoat at that point and gained some level of immunity from those missiles. All right. How long have I been going? I've been going 2.5 hours. It's usually 2 to 2.5 hours is usually when I start to lose my mind. So that's a good point to wrap up. I'll answer a few more questions and then I'll get off. Let's see. He hadn't actively betrayed us yet, but there are hints that he's been the mole for a while, please. Okay, yeah, Shears definitely is working with Andros before the moment where he starts attacking the Great Fox, and it's become obvious he's betrayed the player. But there are a few levels where he hasn't turncoat yet. I know for certain when you're on Titania, he hasn't turned on he hasn't sided with Venom yet. When you're on Titania with Bill and he sends that message and then he's all mad at Bill that he went over his head to ask he went over the chain of command directly to General Pepper to get assigned to the mission with Fox, and then Shears sends him a little message that he's angry. At that point, Shears hasn't turned on Corneria and sided with Venom, but I'm forgetting which level is the level that he does. It might be after that. I don't know. You'll find out in the final game. Yeah, the Space Armada mission is when it's revealed that he's turned, because he starts shooting at the Great Fox and he kills a certain character that I'll keep secret for anyone who hasn't played that level. But he is working with Venom before that level. Although I could make it so that he isn't. Maybe he is working with Corneria right up until that point. I'll have to think about that. Anyway. Let's see. Take Mission 6, Star Fox Strikes Back, for example, with 4 of its different pathways. Macbeth, Sector X, Zonus, and Fortune. Yeah, those levels he hasn't turned on... Actually, I don't think he's in Macbeth or Sector X or Zonus, or... I don't think he's in any of those 4 levels. Titania happens at the same time as... No, Titania happens after Sector X, so it's during Solar. So he might not have betrayed Corneria yet on Solar in Sector Z. We hope you're doing okay one day. Don't let the world being literally on fire get you. Well, despite what I just said, despite the world being on fire right now, I probably am the most optimistic I've been in a long time. I'm not depressed or anything. I've been pretty happy lately. I've had, there's been, things that I won't get into every now and again that happen in my personal life, that put me in a really terrible mood. But overall, the last few years have been pretty good. But nothing really horrible in my personal life. It's just like you said, the world's kind of on fire right now, and I'm not a political channel at all, and I'm not going to get into it. I'm not going to comment on anything going on in the world, but things are not good in the world right now, and it's kind of hard to avoid everything going on in the world, and I do think it's affecting... I think it's driving everyone crazy. I think it's affecting my psychology, and I try to just stay as apolitical as possible and focus on things people are actually interested in and things that make me and other people happy. And kind of just hope for the best right now because things are really crazy. And it's possible the last 5 years have just made my memory bad, and honestly, I might just be getting ADHD. Like, I haven't. Maybe I should go see if I can get a diagnosis or something, because I've always had like the opposite problem of ADHD throughout my whole life, where I'm hyper focused on things, and I'm not easily distracted to the point where like people were concerned, but now like I can't remember stuff. I'm not nearly as focused as I used to be. I might be developing some kind of ADHD, but who knows? I'm not a doctor or a psychologist. I'm not going to diagnose myself. See, the ambushes at Solar and Sector Z definitely point to Shears turning traitor in time for those missions, but not showing it yet. In Sector Z, he even tries to deflect by accusing Kat. Yeah. Okay, I think if I remember right, I wanted to leave it ambiguous as to when the actual point Shears does turncoat until he actually starts firing at the Great Fox. I do think I wanted to leave it completely ambiguous. In fact, if I remember right, I wanted to leave it ambiguous to the point where it's possible that when Andros contacts Fox and offers to pay him a bunch of money and stuff, I kind of wanted to make it to kind of imply that maybe Andros knows Fox isn't going to do that, and then he offers it to Shears instead. But I might just leave it ambiguous as to when's the actual point that Shears does turncoat. However, I do want it obvious that he has going as far back as one of his first appearances. Like, it's obvious he doesn't like his job working in the Cornerian army. Like, he doesn't like Bill going over his head, and So yeah, there's clues that he's going to turncoat up until the point that he actually does, I suppose. But yeah, all right. I think I'll answer one more question, and then I'm gonna go eat some dinner because it's almost dinner time here. And I was an idiot and I didn't eat lunch today. I just hopped right into this and didn't eat lunch like a doofus. So I'm pretty hungry. So I'll wait for one more question to show up. And then I will head out. See, ambiguous is the best approach, I think. No point in defining a set point when he turns. Yeah, one thing I do a lot, and I'll do it in my future project too, is ambiguity. Like, as a great example is there are some things in certain stories or movies or games or whatever that are set up as ambiguous, and their ambiguity is actually what attracts people's attention to them. One of the best examples is Boba Fett from Star Wars. He's kind of introduced. You don't really know much about him. There's only a few little clues, and people really liked Boba Fett, and now here we are, almost 40 years later, and like no one likes Boba Fett anymore because we know like every single detail about his history, where he came from, and all the things that he's done. That's not to say that there isn't an actual answer to things, but I found that ambiguity and not directly answering things actually works out a lot. Zelda's like that a lot. A lot of the older Zelda games, especially like Ocarina of Time, you don't know shit about like where most of these temples, like where the fuck did the Forest Temple come from? You don't know. You don't have a clear answer. There's clues as to what the hell the Forest Temple is, but you don't have someone actually say, "Oh, this is the Forest Temple. This is why it's here. This is who built it." A lot of the Zelda games, especially the ones on the N64, were really, really good at the whole ambiguity thing. Obviously, you don't want everything to be completely ambiguous, because then you're just in a bunch of soup where you don't know what's going on. But yeah, I tend to lean on the side of ambiguity when I can, and On a related note, I believe in the less is more. Like, the less dialogue there is, usually the better, because then you really are focused on you're really focused on like boiling down a line of dialogue to its elements. And I learned that lesson a lot while working on the Star Fox on Event Horizon, because like just characters would be saying so much, and it's like, oh, this is just too much. I need to like reduce the amount of stuff characters are saying. And Star Fox 64 is like one of the best examples of dialogue like distilled down to like really short sentences that just get everything across perfectly. It's such a good example of it. So yeah, I tend to lean towards ambiguity and less is more if I can. So I don't know when Shear's turncoat. He could have turncoat in the first level. He could have turncoat right when he starts shooting at the Great Fox. I guess we'll not know the exact answer. Here's the answer. He betrayed Corneria sometime between the very first level and when he starts shooting at the Great Fox. There. All right. Actually, there might be a few questions because I went off on a tangent there. Crystal Kingdom General says, did you catch any of my music dev recommendations? I think you did that on one of my other streams. At the moment, I do have two different musical composers I work with. I have Adam, who's been doing music for me for literally almost 20 years now, which is crazy to think it's been that long. And then I have another composer named Ben Schroeder, who's done quite a bit of the music in Event Horizon. So I'll probably be working with just them two because I can't afford a bunch of like commissioning music is really expensive. I can't afford unless he does music for free. Maybe I'll consider it, but I'm probably gonna stick with Adam and Ben for the music. Adam isn't doing any of the music anymore for the Star Fox game. Ben Schroeder kind of took over for him, but Adam's doing music for my original projects, and I think he's doing one more track for the Zelda, for Hyrule Conquest, that I'll put in the patch whenever we get that patch done. But so yeah, hopefully that answers the music question. But I don't know. We'll see if they don't charge much and I don't know, they're interested. Maybe I'll look into them. But at the moment, I technically have two composers. So let's see. Although yes, you're right. I do use some stock music for tracks that haven't been finished yet. But now Ben Schroeder's doing a lot of the music for Event Horizon, and Adam kind of does all my other music. And those two composers are friends too. I met Ben Schroeder through Adam. They're both kind of they're acquaintances of they're musical acquaintances of each other, and that's how I kind of that's how I started working with Ben a few years ago. But anyway, I don't see any more. Oh, there's kind of a question. Dead Channel asks, are you still working on Hyrule Conquest? I'm going to release one more patch for it, but after that, I really don't think I'm going to work on Hyrule Conquest again. I mean, I never say never, but at the moment, I really don't. I'm kind of just done with Zelda, but there's a few bugs in it. The main one being that save games don't work. That I want to get fixed just so that the game is kind of polished in its final release. So there's probably going to be at least one more patch that fixes a few things. And I was going to add some of Adam's music that isn't in the game yet. There's a few tracks he's done that aren't in the game yet. And there's one that I don't remember what it is. It's driving me crazy. There's one track he said he wanted to finish. If he's in the audience, he'll probably mention it. There's one track he said he wanted to finish that if he does, I'll put that in with the patch. But God, what was I saying? I forgot what this was all about. What was the topic? Oh my God. My memory is so bad. I don't even remember what the original topic was. I was talking about Oh yeah, Hyrule Conquest. Yeah. No, I don't think I'll be working on it. I'm just gonna release one more patch that kind of fixes the save game feature and a few other bugs. So it's all. It's probably, and then when I finish the event horizon, I'm just gonna move on to my original stuff. I saw one question that I can answer quickly. Oh, someone else already answered it. Yeah, the Cloudrunner Fortress. It's basically a giant castle in the mountains. It's in the name, you know, Cloudrunner Fortress. But I'll zoom around here and I guess I'll show it. It is yeah, it's the home of the Cloudrunners. I kind of started modeling like an actual city, like down in the cliffs here below the fortress. But yeah, it's like a royal palace. It's a defensible position up in the mountains. It has like one little entrance to it from the mountainside down here, where everyone's kind of narrowed into funnel there. So yeah, it's basically Helm's Deep, except a bunch of pterodactyls live there, and there's an actual city like built into the mountain itself and whatnot. And then, yeah, there's the prison over here. Yeah, let's take a closer look because there's some cool little details in here. Actually, I haven't updated the texture. There is some missing details to this that I need to fix. But yeah, there's the cherry blossom trees. And I'm going to make it so that leaves are falling out of the cherry blossom trees. I'll do that with nebula poofs. Oh, did I add the nebula poofs? I think I did. Okay, yeah, good. I added the poof. For those that don't know, FreeSpace has a feature called Nebula Poofs, where it spawns like little animated sprites. In FreeSpace 2, it was like gaseous nebula effects. I use that system to do things like rain and fog, and when you're flying through clouds. But for some reason, the actual volumetric fog that I'm using in this level wasn't compatible with poofs. But my programmer friend that we might be working on a project together, he got them working together in about literally 10 seconds. So it was just fixing a little thing in the source code. So now they both work together, and I needed to go back and add in the different poofs to the level, which I already did. So anyway, I think I'm probably going to get off now. Let me just see if there's any good questions really quick, and then I'm going to go eat. I know that this level will be an alternate pathway to Walled City. All right, yeah, you guys are saying to go ahead and go eat, so I'm gonna go eat. But I hope you guys enjoyed the stream. This was something quite a few people have asked me to do for years now. I know my friend Undying said I should do this like a year or two ago, and Claire's probably in the audience. I think Claire suggested I do this like a year ago, but I've always kind of hesitated to do this because I thought it might be really boring. And to me, the bigger concern, which kind of happened today, is I feel like I went much slower at getting things done than I would have because I was going back and forth with the chat and going on tangents. But if I didn't do that, if I ignored the chat and just did nothing but work, it probably would be really boring. So this might be something I just do once in a while, like when I'm near finishing a level and I kind of like put finishing touches on it. It might be something I do, like, I don't know, I'll have to think about it. But if you guys enjoyed it, definitely let me know. Leave a comment and let me know if this was a good idea. And maybe I'll do it more often or actually show myself working on the levels. But I think at the very least, this event with the landers, this is going to be kind of a big convoluted series of events that I need to do. So I'm probably going to do that one with like no music playing and nothing distracting me and just focusing on getting those landers working with minimal distractions. Because that event is probably going to need quite a lot of trial and error. But watch, I bet you I'm going to get it to work on the first time just because I said that. But anyway, hope you guys had fun, and where is OBS so I can stop streaming? Or, wow, I lost OBS. Oh, where the hell did it go? There it is. All right. Anyway, hope you guys had a good one, and hopefully this level will be done in less than a week. And maybe there'll be more streams soon. Take care, everyone.